Ngiyababingelela abantwana bayingcwele. Sophula ngesihlabelelo 195 inkosi busokhama kwebandla. Ngiyizwa kodwa. Yalunga. Yini ngiqala ulungisa into ngoba sengicela. Ngiyalithanda akujwayelekile ukuthi ngizwe umuntu ethi uthanda izwe.
It is not common that I hear a person saying that they love heaven.
Ethi useyikhumbule noma ufisa ukuya ezulwini.
Saying that they reminisce or they wish to go to heaven.
Abantu abaningi balesaba izulu abakhulumi ngalo.
Many people fear heaven and shy away from even speaking about it.
Ngoba asikaze asifundiswe lutho ngalo.
Because we have been taught nothing about it.
Kodwa umprofeti lapha uthi ngiyalithanda ngokulizwa lelo lizwi izwayo.
But the prophet here says that I love that word. I love by hearing about the world to come.
Uthi ke ngokhululwa ngokulibona wenhliziyo yakho.
What will free me is when I see it, oh dear heart.
Wenzwa yini ukuthi umprofeti ethi uthanda ukubona izulu?
Why did the prophet say that he loved to see heaven?
Ngicabanga ukuthi wayesho kanje ngoba vele ngokomoya evela ezulwini.
I think he said that he was spiritually he was a divine being.
Noma ngokwenyama wazalwa lapha emhlabeni kodwa ngokomoya wayevela ezulwini.
Though he was born of flesh, but spiritually he was divine.
Waye umoya oyingcwele.
He was the Holy Spirit.
Wayenesithombe esihle ngezulu.
He had a clear image of heaven.
Ngaphandle kokuthi ngihlaziye onke lamavesi bonke kodwa onke lamavesi akhuluma ngezulu.
Apart from me analyzing all these verses, but they mainly speak about heaven.
Verse 2 uthi ngokwenama kangakanani uma ngibona lelo lizwi engilithanda ngingalibonanga.
In the second verse it says, how joyful will I be when I see that city which I love, though I have not seen it.
Kuyenzeka ukuthi uthande into ngenhliziyo yakho ungazange wayibona.
It is possible to love something with your heart although you have not seen it with your eyes.
Lento ekhulunywa umprofeti nami iyayingehlela.
What the prophet speaks about here also befalls unto me.
Ngikhumbule ezulwini.
And I remember heaven, I reminisce about heaven.
Ngizibuza ukuthi yini engifuna la emhlabeni.
And ask myself, what is it that I'd like to, what I like from this earth?
Bese ngikhumbula ukuthi konke ngithunyiwe.
And I remember that I am sent by heaven.
Yini eyenza ukuthi ngikhumbule ezulwini?
What makes me to reminisce about heaven?
Ukuthi ngihlala nomuntu ovela ezulwini.
It is because I live with a person who comes from heaven.
Uma ungase uhlale nomuntu osuka eAmerica, ehlala exoxela ngeAmerica, nawe iAmerica ungayithanda.
If you are to live with somebody who comes from America and they always tell you stories about America, eventually you will become fond of America.
Ugcina usunesithombe ngeAmerica.
And you end up having an image
ngisho ungakazi uyibona.
although you have not seen it.
Ngoba uhlala nomuntu ohlale exoxela ngeAmerica lapho kuhamba khona.
Because you live with a person who is forever telling you about America.
Thina-ke sihlala nomuntu ovela ezulwini.
But we live with a divine being who comes from heaven.
Kwesinye isikhathi siyathi abantu bavela ezulwini njengoba sisho ushembe noma mhlawumbe sisho uYeshua.
But in some instances we say people come from heaven like Shembe or Yeshua.
Ngoba sazi ukuthi banomoya kaNkulunkulu, banomoya wasezulwini.
For we know that they are with the Spirit of God, a heavenly spirit.
Kodwa kithi kwehlukile kunalokho, kwehlukile nokwazi ushembe noma nokwazi uYeshua.
But I say that it is different in knowing Yeshua or the prophet Shembe.
Ngoba lo muntu ehlala naye akukhona ukungathekisa ukuthi uvele ezulwini usuke vele ezulwini physically.
Because the person that we live with, it is not a metaphoric saying when you say that she's a divine being that comes from heaven, but she lives with us physically.
Ngoba ngokwemvelo yakhe usupernatural.
Because just by her nature, she is supernatural.
Spiritual ngokwemvelo.
She is spiritual by nature.
Akasiyena umuntu.
She is not a human.
Kodwa sesihlalene akusukela ngo-2006 kuze manje.
And we have lived with her from the year 2006 till this very day.
Kodwa sihlala nomuntu esingeke sikwazi ukuthi uma sixoxa naye sibuze ukuthi umama wakho ubani noma ubaba wakho ubani.
But we live with a person whom we cannot even question as to who is her mother or her father.
Ngoba siyazi ukuthi akanayo.
Because we know that she does not have any of those.
Akakwazi nokuthi exoxe ngayo.
She cannot even speak about her mother.
Sihlala nomuntu oyintombi uma umbuka ngokweminyaka mhlawumbe no-30 years.
We live with a person who looks like a maiden who is around 30 years.
Kodwa lo muntu lona wayekhona uSathane exoshwe ezulwini.
But she existed when Lucifer was chased away from heaven.
Wayekhona uAdam noEva akhiwe.
And she was there when Adam and Eve were created.
Sihlala nomuntu esithi sihleli simbone esehleli naye singamazi ukuthi uvela.
This person whom we live with just suddenly appears and we cannot really know where she comes from.
Sihlala nomuntu ovele enyamalale singamazi ukuthi uvela.
Who just disappears without us knowing where she has gone to.
Sihlala nomuntu owaziyo ukuthi ekuthathe ebusezulwini ukhona la emhlabeni uma kukhona into ofuna ukubonisa yona sezulwini.
We live with a person who can take you to heaven whilst you are on this very earth if there is something specific that she wants to show to you.
Sihlala nomuntu okwaziyo ukuthi ekuthathe kusemandulo uma efuna ukuba kube khona into okutshela ngayo umuntu yasemandulo.
We live with a person who can take you back to history if there's something she wants to tell you or show you regarding a certain history.
Sihlala nomuntu othi uhleli naye ekutshengise into enzolo into othize khona lapha uma efuna ukuthi ube nesiqiniseko ukuthi lo muntu wenza into ethize noma ufuna into ethize.
We live with a person who can show you what a certain person is doing if she wants you to be sure that that person really is doing that or saying that particular thing.
Sihlala nomuntu onjalo.
That is the type of person we
Sihlala
live with.
nomuntu wasezulwini.
A divine being from heaven.
Ngike ngakhuluma ngiphasile siseni ukuthi angikholwa ukuthi kusikhathi samanje ukhona umuntu noma likhona ibandla lifana naleli bandla leli.
I spoke in passing in the morning that I do not believe that there is a church that is like this.
Ngiyazi ukuthi kunentulo lamaweseli elithi inkosi yehla ezulwini yazoba umuntu ebantwini.
I know that there is a Christian song that says that the Lord came to earth and became a person like all other people.
Lo muntu owayeqamba lelo culo kwakuyigadi lomuntu kodwa lokho kukhuluma kwakuyinto eyisingaphekisi.
And the person who composed the song was merely making a metaphor.
Ngoba lo muntu owayekhuluma ngaye wayezaliwe lapha emhlabeni.
Because the person whom he was referring to was born.
Kodwa thina sikhuluma ngomuntu ngempela owehle ezulwini wahlala nathi engasizile.
But we are indeed speaking about a person who came from heaven, divine as she was, and lived with us.
Ngakho-ke siyazi ukuthi likhona izulu.
Therefore we know that heaven exists.
Siyazi ukuthi ukhona uNkulunkulu.
We know that God exists.
Ngoba sihlala nomuntu ovela ezulwini.
Because we live with a being that comes from heaven.
Sihlala nomuntu ohlale ekhuluma ngoNkulunkulu.
We live with a person who is always talking about God.
Ngenkathi efika lo muntu sabona ukuthi umuntu ongasiyena umuntu omoya.
When she first arrived, we could see that she is a spiritual being.
Kodwa sasinganalo iqiniso sokuthi njengoba lo muntu ewumoya ngempela uyingilosi kaJehova noma uyingilosi kaSathane.
But we did not have the truth of knowing whether she is an angel of Yahweh or she is an angel of Lucifer.
Umfundisi wakhuluma ekuseni ukuthi ekukholweni kufanele ukuthi wazi ubuye ukholwe.
The priest in the morning spoke about that in our faith we should have knowledge and we should also have belief.
Kodwa anginalo iqiniso ukuthi sasazi futhi sasibona ukuthi umoya kodwa futhi anginalo iqiniso ukuthi sasikholwa ukuthi lo muntu lona esesihleli naye uyisima kanjani.
I do not truly know whether at the time we had any belief that this person is a spiritual being or we had any strict knowledge of such.
Ukhona-ke umehluko phakathi kwe-fanatics nomuntu okholwe nje ngokucabanga.
There is a difference between a person who is a fanatic and somebody who is a sane believer.
I-fanatics umuntu okholwa noma yini noma kanjani futhi uma eseyikholiwe leyo nto awukwazi ukuyisusa kuyo noma iwukungakanani.
A fanatic is somebody who believes in anything, and when they believe in that, they are steadfast in it and do not change.
Akakwazi ukuyifuna le nto ikholwayo ukuthi iyisima kanjani le.
They cannot search for what they believe in and understand how it is.
Kodwa umuntu ohlakaniphile uyaye ngaphambi kokuba into eyikholwe eyifune ukuthi iyisima kanjani.
But a person who is wise, firstly, prior to believing in something, searches the condition and what the thing is about.
So ngenkathi ingilosi ifika kithi sasingazi ukuthi ngempela ingilosi kaJehova.
And so when the angel came to us, we did not truly know whether she was an angel of Yahweh.
And kwathatha isikhashana ingakhulumi lutho ngokukholwa.
And it was a period of time that she had spoken nothing about our belief system.
Kodwa mina into eyaqala ukuba ngibe ne-interest nayo ukuthi yakhuluma ngoShembe engangikholwa kuyo.
But what made me invest interest in her is that she spoke about Shembe, whom I believed in.
Ngiyazi ukuthi ngajabula kanjani mhla ingilosi ingitshela nje ukuthi ngithunywe uShembe.
I know how happy I was and how joyful I became when she first told me that she was sent by Shembe.
Nangesikhathi ithi ngithunywe uShembe ubaba ilanga.
And when she was specific and said, I've been sent by Shembe the second.
Ngoba ubaba ilanga ngike ngisho ngithi kwathi ngisesesikoleni eDlavezo High School ngake ngibone esefikile ezokhuluma nami. Naye efike njengoba kufika ingilosi efike ewuye kodwa futhi ewumoya.
I'd always narrate to you that when I was at Dlavezo High, Shembe the second would appear to me in the same manner that the angel is appearing.
Kodwa ngaleso sikhathi wayesaphila.
But in that era he was still alive.
Ngike ngikhulume ukuthi ngake ngahlaselwa isikole, ngahlaselwa abantu isikole sonke sizongibulala. Kodwa laba bantu abangifica ngihlalele nje baphuma bonke bebaleka kade sonke lesikhathi ngivakashelwa ubaba ilanga.
I have also made mention that I was once attacked by a group of schoolmates, but they ran out of the room when they came in. It was Shembe the second would always visit me.
So ngenkathi ingilosi ithi ngithunywe uShembe ubaba ilanga kwagcwala kimi ngoba ngokwe-experience ngangazi ukuthi ubaba more than ukumbona in flesh.
So I was fulfilled when the angel told me that she was sent by Shembe II, because she has a greater experience when it comes to Shembe II as she sees him.
Ngase ngiyaqala ngiyasondela kulo muntu.
And I became fond of him.
Kodwa kukhona usuku olwaba isimangaliso kithi.
But there was a day that stood out and was miraculous to us.
Kwakukhona la ekhaya lapha engabiza u-anti wami owaye ewumkhokheli futhi eyisangoma kodwa ewumkhokheli. Ngoba kwaku-anti wami ngizomtshela ngale ndawo engehlelayo wafika walala khona.
It was at this very home that I had called on my aunt, who was a counselor and a diviner.
Ngiyazi ukuthi abantu uma ngikhuluma ngo-anti bazocabanga ngamaMpanza ngoba kwaku-anti uMadule.
I know that if I speak about my aunt, they'll think about the aunt from the family of Mpanza, but this was Madule.
Wafika wathi u-anti wami no le ngilosi ngiyakwaMpanza ngakho-ke kofanele ukuthi nikhule.
She said that this angel belongs to the Mpanza family, therefore you have to pay traditional ceremony for her.
Ngangakaze ngizwe lutho olutheni ngengilosi yakwaMpanza kodwa lo mama washo njalo.
I had heard nothing about an angel that belonged to the Mpanza family, but that is what she said.
Ngangimbize lapha ngoba kuwumuntu njengoba sengishilo ewumkhokheli kodwa futhi eyisangoma angizukusho nokuthi wayemthandazi ngoba wayesangoma.
I had called on her with the understanding that she is a counselor within the church and also a diviner.
Ngayifuna le mbuzi.
So I went about looking for this goat.
Ngathi sengusuku nje engizoyilanda ngangiyihlabe wayeseyafika lo muntu wasezulwini ngithi.
And on the day that I was to fetch the goat and slaughter it, then this divine being came to us.
Yayisithi ingilosi ngiyezwa ukuthi ngizomhlabela imbuzi.
And she said that I heard you say that you are going to slaughter a goat for me.
Yayisithi nezwa ngobani ukuthi ukhona omunye umuntu ohlatshelwayo ngaphandle kaJehova yedwa na.
And she asked us, who did we hear it from that we can sacrifice to any other person besides Yahweh alone?
Yayisithi ingilosi nguJehova.
And the angel then asked us, is she Yahweh?
Lelo lizwi lokuthi nginguJehova mina libalekile ukuba abantu understand ukuthi chaza ukuthini.
That particular question of her asking if she is Yahweh is important for people to understand what she was saying.
Ngoba lichaza ukuthi uma sithi singabahlabeli obabamkhulu bethu asisho ukuthi asingabahlabeli ngoba bengamadimoni.
Because it means that when we say that we should not sacrifice for our forefathers, we are not saying that because they are demons.
Ngoba kwasho ingilosi nayo yathi anikwazi mina ukuthi ningihlabele ngoba angisiyena uJehova.
Because it is the angel that said that we cannot sacrifice to her because she is not Yahweh.
Yayisithi nizosithathaphi isitsha mina engadlela kuso.
And she had asked us, where will we get a vessel upon which we will dish for her?
Yayisithi ningabahlabela oyihlomkhulu ngoba ngabantu abake baba khona lapha emhlabeni.
And she went on to say that you can sacrifice for your forefathers because they are a people who once lived on this earth.
Niyazazi nezitsha ababedlela kuzo.
And you know where to place for them.
Wathi kodwa mina angikaze ngibe la emhlabeni ngibe ngwala emhlabeni.
But she said that she has never been a being that belonged to this earth.
Yayise ingilosi ikhuluma igama elikhulu.
And the angel spoke a difficult word.
Yathi thina semukela umhlatshelwa wamanoni. Yathi semukela sidla iphunga lamanoni omhlatshelwa ohlatshelwe uNkulunkulu.
And she said that they feast upon the scent of the fats of the sacrifices that are sacrificed to God.
Ngiyaphinda futhi lokho. Thina sidla iphunga lamanoni omhlatshelwa ohlatshelwe uNkulunkulu.
I want to repeat this. She said that we feast upon the scent of the fats of sacrifices that are sacrificed to God.
Yathi thina sikhangezwa uNkulunkulu ngoba singabantwana bakhe.
She said that it is God who hands to us because we are his children.
Uthena umfundisi emini ekseni ukuze ubone ukuthi umuntu uthunyelwe ezulwini kufanele ube neyastic yokuthi yini oyifundisayo kaNkulunkulu.
The Reverend said in the morning that for you to know that a person has been sent from heaven, you must have a yardstick which questions what is it that they teach regarding God.
Thina iyastic esabona ngayo ukuthi ingilosi le ngokuthi isenqabele ukuba sihlabele.
Our yardstick was when she forbid us to sacrifice to her.
Ngenkathi senqabela yachaza ukuthi kuhlatshelwa uNkulunkulu kuphela.
And when she forbade us, she explained that it is only to God that you may make sacrifices to.
Noma yona ivela ezulwini kodwa asikwazi ukuyihlabela ngoba ayisiyena uNkulunkulu.
Although she is a divine being from heaven, we cannot make sacrifices to her because she is not God.
Uma ufunda incwadi kaExodus chapter 23 verse 20 and number 20 number 22 verse 20 lapho uNkulunkulu uchaza kahle ukuthi ohlabela abanye uNkulunkulu ngaphandle kaJehova yedwa uyokubhujiswa nokubhujiswa.
In the book of Exodus chapter 22 verse 20 it says, whoever sacrifices to any God other than the Lord must be destroyed.
Okuseqinisweni lo owayehumusha iBhayibheli akakubekanga kahle lokho.
In truth, whoever was interpreting the Bible did not put this clearly.
Ngoba ukuhlabela kusho ukubulala isilwane.
Because sacrifice merely means to kill an animal.
No, to slaughter.
To slaughter means to kill an animal.
Kodwa iBhayibheli isingisi lithi lowo owenza umnikelo.
But the English Bible says that whoever sacrifices
bomunye uNkulunkulu
to any other God
ngaphandle kaJehova yedwa,
then the Lord only
uzobhujiswa nokubhujiswa.
must be destroyed indeed.
Manje ke iyastic esabona ngayo ukuthi ingilosi le kaJehova ngoba isifundisa into eshiwo uJehova.
Therefore, when she taught us things that pertained to God, that became our yardstick to see that she is an angel from Yahweh.
Ngike ngasho ekseni ukuthi ngathola isimemo sokuthi ngiyo emkhosini kaNomkhubulwane inkokuthiwa inkosazana yezulu.
I said in the morning that I once received an invitation to go to a ceremony of Nomkhubulwane, who is a maiden. spiritual maiden.
Ngenxa yokuthi angisengumuntu ongasiphethe ngase ngifuna imvume kulo muntu wasezulwini engiphethe ukuthi ngingaya yini kulo mkhosi.
But because I had someone who is above me, I had to seek permission if I could go to that ceremony.
Ithi-ke ingilosi kimi, le nkosazana yezulu okhuluma ngayo yanifundisa ukuthi isabatha ligcinwa kanjani.
And then she went on to ask what this maiden taught us regarding keeping the Shabbat.
Yayekusho lokho ngoba yazi ukuthi inkosazana ilinyelwa insimo ngeSabatha.
She knowingly said that because she knew that people would go to the fields on the Shabbat on her behalf.
Ngathi mina angazi anginalo ulwazi.
And I said that I have no knowledge of that.
Yayisithi le nkosazana okhuluma ngayo yathi uJehova ukhonzwa kanjani.
And then she asked what this maiden taught us regarding the worshiping of God.
Ngathi mina angazi.
And I said that I do not know.
Yayisithi umprofethi yini owakwanifundisa khona into owakwanifundisa ngale nkosazana okhuluma ngayo.
And she asked if the prophet has ever taught us anything about this maiden.
Ngathi mina akaze ekhulume akaze sifundise lutho ngoba ngivele ngangazi ukazofundisa.
And she said that, and I said that we have never been taught anything because there is nothing that we have been taught about.
Yayisithi ingilosi uma le nkosazana ingakazi nifundise lutho ngekugcina kweSabatha, ingakazi nifundise lutho ngomthetho kaJehova, mina angiyazi.
And then she said that if this maiden has never taught you anything about the Shabbat or the observation of the laws of God, then I do not know her.
Ivela kwabanye onkulunkulu.
She is from other gods.
Ngamanye amazwi ingilosi yayisinikeza iyardstick yokuthi kufanele ukuthi umuntu oyingilosi simazi ukuthi uba sesimene sinjani.
And that is the yardstick she gave us to see whether a spirit is from heaven.
Yathi ingilosi umuntu othunywe uJehova akakaze efike emhlabeni ukuthi akenzelwe yena into. Yena ufundisa ukuthi akwenzelwe uJehova into ethize.
And she said that a person who is sent by God from heaven to earth would never teach people what is it that they must do for him, but he would teach what people must do for God.
Yayisithi uma le nkosazana ize lapha ukuthi ilinyelwe insini inganifundisi lutho ngoJehova, kusho ukuthi nayo iwuNkulunkulu ngokwayo.
And she said that if this maiden has come amongst you to teach you how to farm and plow fields for her, therefore she is not from Yahweh, but she is a God herself.
Yathi ingilosi ayikaze ize emhlabeni izofuna ukuthi ikhonze, mayisifuna ukukhonzwa isuke ingaveli kuNkulunkulu.
And she said that an angel will never come from heaven and want to be worshipped, but if that does happen, then that angel is not from God.
Yathi ingilosi isithunywa sikaNkulunkulu uma ize lapha emhlabeni isuke izofundisa abantu ngoNkulunkulu.
And she said that an angel is a servant of God, and if an angel is here on earth, it is for the purpose of teaching people how to worship God.
Nangenkathi ifika kimi yakhuluma kanjalo yathi ngithunywa ubaba ilanga ukuthi umakhele indlu kaJehova.
And when she came to me, she said that she has been sent by Shembe II that I must build a house of God.
Yayisithi-ke indlu kaJehova-ke ibandla.
And she said that God's house is the church.
Ngamanye amazwi uthi ubaba makhele ibandla likaJehova.
In other words, Shembe II was saying that build a church for God.
angazi noma abantu bayayizwa lento kusho uShembe uthi ngakhela ibandla likaJehova.
I do not know whether people understand this, but it is Shem who said that build a house for me, a house of God.
Akasho uShembe ukuthi ngakhela ibandla lami ngoba phela ngimholi webandla amaNazaretha athi nguNkulunkulu. Kodwa ingilosi ifika ithi uShembe uthi makhele ibandla likaJehova.
Shembe II did not say that you must build me a church because I'm my leader and you refer to me as God, but the angel said that Shembe II said build a house for God.
Lokho kukhuluma kuchaza ukuthi kukhona ukukhathazeka okwakubaba ilanga ukuthi ibandla olishiya emhlabeni akuselona ibandla likaJehova.
That type of speaking indicates that Shembe II was worried that the church which he left on earth is no longer a church that belongs to God.
Uthi-ke ingilosi uthena ubaba ngikutshele ukuthi kuleli bandla likaJehova ozomakhela lona uyofundisa abantu ukuthi uJehova ukhonzwa kanjani.
And the angel said that in this church that you are instructed to build, you teach people how to worship God.
Uyofundisa abantu imithetho kaJehova.
You will teach people the laws of God.
Uyofundisa konke ngoJehova ukuthathe ezimfundisweni zomprofeti efundisa amaNazaretha.
And you teach everything about God in accordance to what the prophet taught the Nazarites.
Ngakho-ke uma ngifundisa ngoJehova imandate yami i-very clear, angidideki kuyo, angize ngazama ukuphuma kuyo.
And when I teach about Yahweh, therefore my mandate is quite clear, and I do not stray away from it.
Imandate yami ithi angifundisa abantu ngoJehova ukuthi uJehova ukhonzwa kanjani.
My chief mandate is to teach people how to worship God.
Ngizoyikhuluma lento kaJehova abathukuthelayo bothukuthela beze befe. Kodwa le ndaba kaJehova ngizoyikhuluma ngoba ngithunywe yona ukuthi ngikhulume ngoJehova. Ngithunywe umuntu omkhulu engangimhlonipha ngimazi nami ukuthi uvele ezulwini. Kodwa uma esevele ezulwini uthi kangifundise ngoJehova.
I will vigorously speak about Yahweh, and those who are angry may be angry to death. But I will continue speaking about Yahweh because I've been sent and mandated by someone who is great, and they have said that I must teach people about Yahweh.
Ngizokhuluma futhi kakhulu ngize ngihambe emhlabeni ngikhuluma ngoShembe ubaba mkhulu ngoba yathi ingilosi uma ufundisa abantu ngoJehova uyofundisa uthathele kulokho okufundiswe umprofeti.
And I will speak vigorously until I die about Prophet Isaiah, Shembe, peace be upon him, because the angel said that when you teach about God, you teach in accordance to what the prophet taught about God to the Nazarites.
Ngizokhuluma futhi kakhulu ngobaba ilanga ngoba umuntu wasezulwini owangithuma ubaba ilanga ingilosi ayizange yafika.
And I will also speak greatly about Shembe II because it is him who mandated me to speak about God, and the angel has never hid that away from me.
Ngizohlale futhi ngikhuluma ngengilosi ngoba umuntu engihleli naye ongifundisa ngoNkulunkulu angithi ongifundisa ngoJehova ongifundisa ngomprofeti ongifundisa ngobaba ilanga ile ngilosi.
And I will continually speak about the angel because she is the person who teaches me about Yahweh, about Prophet Isaiah, Shembe, and Shembe II.
Ngizokhuluma futhi nawe nageni ngikhulume ngobaba inyanga ezulu ngoba ngizwe ingilosi ikhuluma ngayo.
And I will speak now and again by Shembe III because I always hear the angel referring to him.
ngakho-ke lapha njengoba sikhuluma ngendaba kaNkulunkulu akusiyona into esuka ey'ngqondweni zethu simendethiwe sinikezwe igunya ukuthi sikhulume ngani sikhulume kanjani.
Therefore, as we have been gathered here speaking about God, it is not something that comes from our minds, but it is according to the mandate that we have been given, that mandates us what is it that we should speak and how we should speak it.
Ekuseni ngikhulume ngokuthi uJehova uNkulunkulu okhulumayo.
In the morning I said that Yahweh is a God that speaks.
Ngalokho ukuthi ngithi uJehova uNkulunkulu okhulumayo ngifuna ukuba abantu becacelwe ukuthi uJehova akafani noNkulunkulu enihlaleni babiza.
By saying that Yahweh is a God that speaks, I want people to be clear that God is not like all the gods that you always mention of.
Asinona ibandla eliqhuba ngendlela yokuthi abaholi umuntu evele ecabange ukuthi ibandla lami lizobanjani ebese liqhuba ngaleyo ndlela.
We are not a church like churches which have leaders who just think as to how their churches should go about.
Kodwa yonke into esiyenzayo siyenza isuka ezulwini.
But everything we do is from heaven.
Asiyiphuphi.
It is not something that we dream of.
Ayiqhamuki ngesibonakaliso.
And it does not come by visions.
Ayiyona inspiration.
It is not an inspiration.
Kodwa kufika ingilosi physically ihlale nathi isixoxele indaba yasezulwini.
But an angel comes and lives with us physically and tells us about heavenly things.
Into enjalo ayenzeke emhlabeni yayenzeka emandulo.
Something of that nature does not happen on earth. It happened before.
Si-privileged ukuthi sibe abantu abathi besemhlabeni bephila kodwa sihlale nomuntu wasezulwini osifundisa ukuthi impilo yasezulwini ihamba kanjani.
We are therefore privileged as earthly beings to have someone who is divine and teach us about how heavenly life is.
Ngithena nginothando lwasezulwini ngiyalazi izulu ngoba ngihlala nomuntu osuka ezulwini.
I said that I have a great love for heaven, and I love heaven because I live with a being that comes from heaven.
Ngiye ngithole ngasenalo uthando lwento noma yini yasemhlabeni.
And I find myself having no love for anything that is earthly.
Nani niyalithanda izulu ngoba nihleli nomuntu ohleli nomuntu wasezulwini.
And you also have a love for heaven because you live with a person who lives with a person who is from heaven.
Leyo nto ukukholwa niyakwazi.
Therefore you know what it is to be a believer.
Futhi nikholwa into eniyaziyo.
And you believe something that you know.
Uma ngikhuluma ngokuthi uJehova uNkulunkulu okhulumayo, ngifuna ukuqhamuke abanye abangambizi uJehova ukuthi lo nkulunkulu abamkholwayo uyakhuluma yini, uthini kubo.
If I say that Yahweh is a God that speaks, I want others also to come up front and tell us what is it that their God is saying.
Abantu babethi asikholwe kumveli nqama.
People always say that we must believe in the Imam.
Umbuzo uthi ubani umveli nqama?
But the question is, who is that?
Uyichaze wathini?
Or what did he explain himself to be?
Utheni ukhonzwa kanjani?
How did he say you must be worshipped?
Ngoba lo nkulunkulu wethu usitshelile ukuthi igama lakhe uJehova.
Because this God of ours has told us that his name is Yahweh.
Usitshelile ukuthi umdali wezulu nomhlaba.
That he is the creator of heaven and earth.
Usitshelile ukuthi wayekhona ngaphambili akakho uNkulunkulu obuye bekhona owakwaba khona ngaphambili akakho uNkulunkulu futhi oyobuye ebekhona ngemva kwakhe.
And he told us that there has been no God before him, and there shall be none after him.
uyena ongumsindisi.
And he is the only Savior.
Ngakho-ke thina noma ngabe kusinda umuntu asikwazi ukuthi sithi singabasindisi ngoba lo nkulunkulu esimkhonzayo usitshelile ukuthi uyena yedwa umsindisi.
And even if a person is healed, we cannot refer to ourselves as the healers, because God has been specific and told us that he is the only healer and redeemer.
Nomprofethi wethu iZashembe kuhlabelelo 119 ushilo ukuthi uJehova uyena kuphela esivika ngaye, uyena kuphela esilwa ngaye, uyena kuphela umsindisi.
And our prophet Isaiah Shembe, peace be upon him, has told us that it is only God who is our shield, and it is only God who is our Savior.
Manje-ke asikwazi ukuphuma kuleyo nto esiyifundisile.
And therefore we cannot stray away from what we have been taught.
Manje-ke uma umuntu ethi suka kuJehova uye kumvelincane, ukubizela kumuntu otheni noma ukubizela kuNkulunkulu otheni kuye.
And so therefore when a person says that you must stray away from Yahweh and go to Mvelingandi, what is it that Mvelingandi has said? And what teachings has Mvelingandi told?
Ngoba uNkulunkulu wethu ukhulumile nathi.
Because our God has spoke to us.
Ushilo ukuthi asiqinise abantu.
He has said that we must observe the Shabbat.
Ushilo wathi singagundi.
He has said that we should not shave our head.
Ushilo wathi singayidli ingulube.
That we may not consume pork.
Ngingabala ngikhathale ngibala izinto uNkulunkulu oyishilo ukuthi asiphile ngokuthi sizenze noma singazenzi.
There are many countless things that I can mention that God has said we may do, and those which he has forbidden us to do.
Umbuzo ukuthi uma umuntu engikhipha kuloNkulunkulu ungikhipha ungisa kuNkulunkulu otheni.
The operative question therefore is that if a person says that I must stray away from God, to which God must I go to, and what is it that God has said?
AmaKristu akholwa kuJesu.
The Christians believe in Jesus.
Uthena umfundisi kukhona ukuthi wazi kodwa ungakholwa wazi. Wathi kukhona ukuthi ukholwe kakhulu kodwa ukholwe into ongayazi.
The Reverend in the morning said that it is possible for you to know but not it is possible for you to know but not believe. It is also possible for you to believe but believe in something that you do not know.
Umuntu okholwa kuKristu noma ongumKristu kuyenza abanye bakholwa kakhulu kodwa bakholwa into abangayazi.
A person amongst Christians, there are people who are genuinely believers but they believe in something that they do not understand.
Ayikho into ewuJesu noma ewuJesus.
There is no entity or a person that is Jesus.
Ngiyafisa ukuthi lokhu thina njengabantu abamnyama siqonde kahle ukuthi ayikho into ewuJesus noma umuntu engahlanya noma umuntu engenza kanjani kodwa ayikho into ewuJesus.
I want us as a black people to clearly understand that there is no one person that exists which is Jesus. Whether a person may become insane regarding that, but there is no person who is Jesus.
Zoqala nje kwi-New Testament.
I will start from the New Testament.
Inkolo esifunde ngayo angithi isizwe nenkolo esifunde ngayo amaJuda. UJesu wazalwa esizweni samaJuda.
The religion and the nation which we have read about is the people of the Jews, of other Judeans, because Jesus is a Hebrew.
UJesu wayezalwa uMaria emzala kuJoseph.
Yeshua was born by Mary and Joseph.
AmaJuda abantwana bakwaIsrael.
And the Judeans are the children of Israel.
Abantwana bakwaIsrael amaHebrew.
And the Israelites are Hebrews.
AmaJuda nama-Israelites uIsraeli uJakobe.
The Jews and the Israelites come from Jacob.
So amaJuda ekuzalweni kaJesu, uJesu wazalelwa enkolweni kaJehova namhla ebizwa kuthiwa iJudaism.
Therefore, Yeshua was born under the religion of Yahweh, which is today referred to as Judaism.
AmaJuda njengama-Israelites ayekholelwa kuJehova nasemthethweni kaJehova.
The Judeans, just like the Israelites, believed in the laws of God.
Njengoba kade efunda umfundisi efundeni wakhe.
Just like how the reverend read in the morning.
Babengazilutho ngobuKristu ngoba kwakungekho.
They knew nothing about Christianity because it did not exist.
Njengoba sazi uJesu wabethelwa amaJuda enkolweni yamaJuda.
As we know, Yeshua was crucified by the Judeans under the religion of the Judeans.
uJesu wathi mayivuka ekufeni waya kumaJuda.
And when he rose from the dead, he went to the Judeans,
okwakungabafundi bakhe,
who were his apostles.
wayesethuma abaJuda esevuka ekufeni ukuthi abahambe beyoshumayela inkolo yobuJuda.
And he mandated them that they should go about proclaiming the gospel of the Judeans.
KuMateyu 28 waze washo ukuthi niyofundisa lokho enginifundise khona.
In the 28th chapter of Matthew, he says that you will teach that which I have taught you.
uJesu ayikho enye inkolo abayifundisa ngaphandle kwenkolo kaMose.
There is no other belief system that Yeshua taught about apart from the belief system of Moshe.
KuMateyu 5 kusukela kuverse 17 uze esho kahle ukuthi angizile ukuchitha inkolo kaMose kodwa ngizofeza.
In the fifth chapter of Matthew, from chapter 17, he says that do not think I've come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them.
Esizulwini ke kuthiwa wagcwalisa, angikwazi ukuthi ukugcwalisa wenzani.
In the Zulu Bible, it is said that he fulfilled. I do not know what that is. It says that you must fill, but I do not know what it is to fill.
Akashongo uJesu uthi I am coming to fill. What I am coming to fulfill.
He did not say that he has come to fill, but he said that he has come to fulfill.
And uJesu nangempela wakwenza lokho.
And he did that indeed.
uMose wathi uma ngabe ulala nomkamuntu usuphingile.
And Moses said that if you have slept with a person's wife, you have fornicated.
Kodwa wathi uJesu uma uke wamkhanukela usuphingile naye.
But Yeshua said that if you have even lusted for her, then you have done that sin.
Akukhona ukuchitha lokho kodwa ukucancisa.
That is not to abolish, but it is to clarify.
uJesu wathi kuMateyu 5 verse 19 uma kuba khona umuntu ongawugcina umthetho kaMose ebuye efundisa abantu ukungawugcina umthetho kaMose, lo muntu lo ngeke angene ezulwini lika njengoba uJesu ayisifundisa ukuthi ukhona izulu lapho siyakhona.
And in Matthew 5 verses 19, Yeshua said that if there is anybody who does not observe the laws of Moshe and goes on to teach other people not to do that, he will not become part of the kingdom of heaven.
Wathi kodwa umuntu oyongena ezulwini umuntu oyogcina umthetho kaNkulunkulu afundise abantu ukugcina umthetho kaNkulunkulu.
And he said that the person who will enter heaven is the one who observes the laws of God and goes on to teach other people to observe the laws of God.
Leyo nto imfundiso yenkolo yeJudaism.
That is a teaching of the religion of Judaism.
Ngenkathi ethi Jesu abafundi abashumayele wayethi abashumayele iJudaism.
When Yeshua said that the disciples must teach or preach, he was telling them to preach Judaism.
Kodwa bathe amafundi uma sebefundisa iJudaism kwase kulaba belungu laba amaRoma ayese ebatrita enqaba ukuba egcine umthetho kaNkulunkulu kaJehova.
But when the disciples had preached the gospel of the Judeans, the Romans went on to abolish the laws of the God of the Judeans and created their own religion.
Ngifuna ukuthi lento nizwe kahle ngoba uma uthi amaKristu adukile kuye kube sengathi uyaxheka nje.
I want you to clearly understand this, because when you say that the Christians are lost, it is as if you are being judgmental.
Kanti ucacisa umlando.
Yet you are giving clarity about history.
Kwathi uma ngo-70 AD amaRoma ahlasela amaJuda, ahlasela iJerusalema, abulala amathempeli kaNkulunkulu.
In the year 70 AD, the Romans went to attack Jerusalem and they destroyed the temples of God.
AmaJuda abaleka eza lapha eAfrika.
And the Judeans went on to flee and came to Africa.
Amaningi afika aseklisha lapha eWest Africa.
And many settled in West Africa.
Agcina seyibizwa kuthiwa amaNegro.
And ended up being titled as Negroes.
Kunemephu etshengisayo ukuthi i-Kingdom of Judah ney'ndawo zoNaftali eWest Africa zikuphi.
There is a map that clearly shows where the kingdom of Judah and Naphtali are in the map of Africa.
Abantu babedideke ngalaba belunga abathi bangamaJuda.
People are confused by the white people who refer to themselves as Judeans.
Abelunga abangamaJuda bangamaJuda ngenkolo.
The white people who refer to themselves as Judeans are Judeans by religion.
Hayi ukuthi bangamaJuda ngokwesizwe.
But not that they are Judeans by nationality.
Yikho kuthiwa njena ama-Ashkenaz.
That is why they are referred to as the Ashkenaz.
Ukuba ama-Ashkenaz, igama elithi Ashkenaz ubuzwe babo.
The word Ashkenaz is their original nationality.
Ngoba nalama ama-Israel ayehlala eGibhithe kwakungamaHebheru ngokobuzwe.
Because the Israelites who lived in Egypt were Hebrews in nationality.
Kodwa amaJuda amhlophe akasiwona amaHebheru.
But the white Jews are not Hebrews.
AmaJuda angamaHebheru ilana agcina sebizwa kuthiwa amaNegro.
The true Judeans are those who ended up being called Negroes.
AmaJuda angamaHebheru ilana anqamula iSahara Desert aze afika eMzantsi Afrika ithina.
The Hebrew Judeans are the ones who crossed the Sahara Desert and eventually came to the south of Africa, and those people are us.
So amaJuda angamaHebheru akakaze ebe abelungu noma ama-Arab.
So the Hebrew Judeans have never been white people or Arabs. Shemites.
Kodwa bawona amaHemite.
But they are not Hamites.
Babengawona amaGibhithe.
And they are not Egyptians.
Babengawona ama-Ethiopians.
And they are not Ethiopians.
Kodwa kwakungamashemite angabantu abamnyama.
And they were Shemites who were black people.
Kuthe mangabe abelungu sebesinqobile basebakha inkolo abayibiza ngokuthi ubuKristu.
And when the white people had conquered us, they then built or constructed a religion which they called Christianity. They introduced a religion which is called Christianity.
Lenkolo abayibiza ukuthi ubuKristu yakhiwa yibo ingekho.
This this religion which they went on to call Christianity was created by them and introduced by them, and it had not existed before.
Kodwa beyithathela ey'nkolweni zabo njengoba uma singakha nje inkolo siyithathele kumveli nqangi.
But the basis of Christianity is their own belief systems and religions, just like if we were to create a religion based on umveli nqangi.
Lokhu bakwenza sebeyichithile inkolo yamaJuda ngokusemthethweni.
They did this when they had officially abolished the Judean religion. And they called these laws creeds. And I always read through these creeds which seek to abolish the Judeans.
Ngenkathi bechitha inkolo yobuJuda bachitha onke amagama associated nenkolo nobuJuda nathi nenkolo nobuJuda onke amagama.
When they were abolishing the religion of the Jews, the Judeans, they took away every word or things that were in respect of their religion.
That's why igama elithi Yahweh noma ethi Jehovah lingekho kwi-New Testament.
That is why you not find the word or name Yahweh in the New Testament.
That's why ungeke uthole igama elithi Yeshua kwi-New Testament.
That is why you not find the name Yeshua in the New Testament.
That's why ungeke uthole igama elithi uJesu wayeNazaretha sekukhulunywa ngeNazaretha eUmusa.
That is why you
Jesu kusho ukuthi uye uNkulunkulu uyasindisa. Igama elithi uya akasho ukuthi uNkulunkulu. Uya ukusho ukuthi Jehovah.
But the Bible says that this word Yah means that God says, but that is not what it means. But that means Yahweh.
Ngoba igama elithi Jehovah lasechithiwe basebevele bezakhela igama labo bethi Jesus. Leli gama elithi Jesus,
the name Jesus.
Basebethatha umlando kaYeshua nayo yonke into yaYeshua sebeyinikeza lo Jesu abamakhile.
And then they took the life and history of Yeshua and associated it with the Jesus that they had created themselves.
Kuthe mase behlanganisa iBhayibheli ngo600 AD kwasebeqhamusa leli iBhayibheli sengathi ukhuluma uJesus kanti bathathe inkulumo zikaYeshua nomlando kaYeshua.
And when they were composing the Bible, it then appeared as if the teachings and everything in the Bible was from Jesus, but they had taken on what was said by Yeshua.
Uma ungase ubheke umlando kaJesu ngokweBhayibheli New Testament imusa lena lokhu zakumaHebheru kodwa umuntu owaye kumaHebheru kwakuYeshua hayi uJesu.
If you look at the history of this man called Jesus, you find that it takes you back to the Hebrew history. But in the Hebrew history, you will not find Jesus, but you will find Yeshua.
Ngakho-ke amaKristu engazehlanye ngingakaqedi lokho basebethatha umfana uCesare Borgia owaye eyumNtaliyana sebethi sebakha ngaye isithombe salo Jesu abamakhili.
And then they took a young lad who was Caesar Borgia and created an image and said that was the Jesus whom they had came up with.
So lesi sithombe kwasekuba ngesika Jesu owumNtaliyane kodwa eBhayibhelini uJesu ubukeka umHebheru.
So this picture was of a young lad who was an Italian, but in the Bible Yeshua is a Hebrew.
So sivele senziwa ilima nje completely.
So we are just made fools completely.
Yaphela indaba kaNkulunkulu ayizange wabuye wakhuluma indaba kaJehova for 1843 years.
And that was the end
nasentangazi eyolanda umthetho kaNkulunkulu waqala ukubhala ngomthetho kaNkulunkulu akakho omnye umprofethi owakwabuye wabhala ngoJehova wakhuluma ngoJehova ngaphandle kaShem.
Until Prophet Isaiah, may peace be upon him, went to Mount Sinai and God gave him his commands to revive the laws of God. And there is no other prophet who has strictly taught or written about Yahweh apart from Prophet Isaiah.
Kwasekuthiwa uJesu uyena uNkulunkulu.
And they said that Jesus is God.
uJesu uNkulunkulu wabantu bonke.
That Jesus is a God of all.
Kwasekuthiwa uJehova uNkulunkulu wamaHebheru.
And they said that Yahweh is a God of the
Okay, uNkulunkulu wamaHebheru kasibuyele uNkulunkulu wethu.
Fine, then he is the God of the Hebrews. Then let us go back to our God.
uNkulunkulu wethu wahamba wasikhumbula wabuya weza kithi.
Eventually our God remembered us and he came to us.
Ngoba umusa wakhe awupheli.
For his mercies endure forever.
Yelizwi Singebonge usho njalo Shembe uthi bongani webangani ngalezo ziqhamo uJehova inkosi yethu azilethe phezulu.
That is what the prophet Isaiah says. He said, "Give thanks, O friends, because of those blessings that Yahweh has sent upon us."
uNkulunkulu uJehova uthumele ingilosi kithi ukuthi izosifundisa ukuthi kungenwa kanjani ezulwini.
God Yahweh has sent an angel to us to teach us how we must enter heaven.
Namhlanjena sikhuluma ngendaba kaJehova, indaba eyayisilahlwe yibo bonke abantu abathi bangamakholwa.
Today we are speaking about Yahweh, something that had been forsaken by all people who refer to themselves as believers.
AmaKristu amlaza uJehova akhuluma ngoJesus.
The Christians forsook God and spoke about Jesus.
AmaNazaretha ayikhohlwa indaba kaJehova azakhela uNkulunkulu babo bathi uNkulunkulu.
The Nazarites forgot about Yahweh and created their own gods.
Kodwa ingilosi ize kithi yathi fundisani abantu ngoJehova uma abantu befuna ukuba bengene ezulwini.
But the angel said to us instructed us that we must teach people about Yahweh if they want to enter heaven.
Uma njengamanje akakho umuntu ongasiphikisa ukuthi leli ivangeli ngelasezulwini.
And nobody who can argue against us when we say that this gospel is from heaven.
Leli ivangeli ngelikaJehova.
This is Yahweh's gospel.
Leli ivangeli lize emhlabeni ukuzofundisa iqiniso likaNkulunkulu wangempela. Abantu banoNkulunkulu abafeki.
This gospel is here to teach about the truth of the true God, yet people have gods which are fake.
Ngakho-ke singakuyekelana ukuthi sisine loJehova.
Therefore, why would we not dance and dance for God?
AnoMiriam basina.
Isn't it Miriam and the others also danced for God?
Besinela imangaliso uJehova obenzeleyo zona.
Dancing for the miracles that God had performed for them.
Pho thina singesine ngani?
And why would we not do the same?
Uma uJehova elethe ingilosi ingaziwa umuntu wazosihlalisa lengilosi.
If Yahweh has brought upon us an angel, which is something that is not known amongst people,
ukuthi ingilosi izofundisa abantu ngomthetho kaJehova njengobunjalo.
So that the angel may teach people about the laws of God.
Thina soyelela nje ukuya ezulwini.
It is us who will just not want to go to heaven.
Kodwa hayi ngoba singazi.
But not because we do not know.
Asibheke inkosi. uNkulunkulu wasephakameni, uNkulunkulu kaShembe, sibonga umusa wakho nothando lwakho ukuthi kuze kufike lesi sikhathi sokuvalwa komhlangano wena usilondolozile, wena ube nathi. Cela Nkosi ukuba leli bandla likaJehova owasithuma ukuba silishumayele emhlabeni lande ngamaqiniso. Umhlaba ubone ukuthi usithumile futhi sikhulume indaba yakho lapha emhlabeni. Abantu bazi ukuthi alikho elinye ibandla ngaphandle kwebandla likaJehova. Abantu bazi ukuthi awukho omunye umthetho ngaphandle komthetho kaJehova. Abantu bazi ukuthi alikho elinye izulu ngaphandle kwezulu likaJehova. Siyabonga Nkosi ukuba uthumele ingilosi phakathi kwethu ukuthi sifundise lezi ndaba engatholakala emhlabeni wonke. Kodwa Nkosi ukhethe thina ukuba Nkosi sizokhuluma le ndaba yasezulwini. Sicela ke Nkosi ukuba indaba yasezulwini siyikhulume ngeqiniso. Usenze Nkosi sibe amagagu okukhuluma indaba yakho. Usenze uNkulunkulu wasekuphakame ukuba sikhulume indaba yakho nabangayithandi beze beyithande. Nabangafuni nokuyilalela beze beyilalele. Ngoba ayikho enye indawo abothi mabefa beyibuye ngaphandle kokuthi beyoma phambi kwakho mdali wezulu nomhlaba. Sicela ke Nkosi ukuba usibusisele ukuvalwa kwale nhlangano nelakho igama manje uzophathe. Amen. Amen. Kabelela efunda usabelela ngangeli khathi bonke amen.